Hey guys, Haley Jager, independent Scentsy consultant. I'm a lead consultant with Scentsy, and today I have a story, or I guess a video for you guys that's a little bit out of the ordinary. I'm calling it my horror story, and you're not going to be too terrified, but it's just something that I felt I wanted to do today, sort of as like an awareness for all of you, whether you're a consultant or a customer. I think it's educational for either. I hope you guys like my background here. I am still in the crazy, chaotic process of deciding between whether or not I'm going to stay here and move in, or if I'm going to move and set up somewhere else. So I don't quite have like an official Scentsy space for making videos, and anyone that's followed me, I actually haven't made a video in quite some time. I had a stage there in the beginning where I was making videos all the time, no matter what, and then I sort of felt like I just, I got lost for a while. So I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna try not to look down at this. And also you'll notice on your screen I'm probably looking on the opposite side. I'm recording this with my iPhone and I should be looking this way, but the way that it's set up, I'm just gonna constantly be looking the opposite way. So jumping into my horror story, my very first time with Scentsy, I had been using like vendor wax and was just kind of getting into the whole wax warmers thing. I had a Glade warmer, and that's all I really knew at that point. I didn't know much about wax. I just knew I wanted my house to smell good. Noah, come here. Come here. I have upstairs, I have a sleeping almost 5-year-old. And downstairs, I have a 2-year-old husky cross. Come here, come here. Oh, I'm sorry. This little girl. So, having a dog and a toddler, my house just was not gonna smell 100%. And, I got into wax and stuff because I wanted my house to smell good, but also because it was a safe alternative to like candles and not having open flame and stuff like that. So when I heard about Scentsy, everyone was talking about, that there was like over 80 scents to choose from. And so I found someone local, went on her website, shopped the whole website, and anyone that is an online shopper, you just put everything in your cart and think nothing of it. In my case, oh, sorry, dog hair. In my case, I put everything in my cart, and then I messaged the consultant and said, look, I really don't want to have to set up an account to check out. Is there a way for you to put my order in for me? And she was like, yeah, of course, send me your order. So I sent her my order, and she invoiced me for a totally different amount than what was showing on the screen. So I was like, oh, did you get everything? And thank goodness for cell phones, because they were able to screenshot everything in my cart and sent it to her, and she was like, oh yeah, you didn't bundle and save, but don't worry, that's my job as a consultant. I'll figure it all out for you. And she said, give me a couple hours and I'll send you like a total again. So she came back to me again and she was like, oh, I was able to reduce it even more for you. And here I thought, wow, this is incredible. Like, I think it was like $30 or $40 less than what I was seeing on the website. So my order, at the time, it was to bring back my bar, and anyone that knows that, because I just ran it myself, it's 1 month only of the top voted scents plus the 80 catalog scents, so, or 80 plus catalog scents. So there was a lot of options for me. I had never used Scentsy before. So I ordered probably like 30 bars or something outrageous like that. And then I got the gallery warmer, if any of you are familiar with it. It's the one that has the magnetic frames that you can put on it, and one of them had the option of putting a photo in it. So I went with that warmer, and received the warmer and the bars. The lady sort of just handed it to me in a plastic bag, and I was really excited about my order. It came pretty quickly, but I don't know. I pictured like bows, and anyone that sees my orders, I think that's an important touch, and I definitely, well, I'll get to that later, but basically I got my order in a plastic Scentsy bag, and that was that. And she left, and I plugged in my warmer, and I tried out one of the scents, and used one cube, and I couldn't smell anything. So I used a second cube, couldn't smell anything. And anyone that's used Scentsy is gonna be like, what? But I went as far as to put in a third cube. Had no smell at all. Waited and waited. It was fully melted. Didn't know what the heck was going on. So I dumped out the scent. And this is another thing too. Like, I was literally dumping the dish into the garbage. You get wax all over the dish. I just thought, okay, this is messy. There's no smell. I spent close to $200. Like, what did I just waste all my money on? And I messaged the consultant, I put in a second scent to see if maybe it was just the scent that I was using, and same thing, couldn't smell anything. So I messaged the consultant that I had bought off of and just told her, you know, I'm not getting any scent. I don't know what's going on. She asked me, what are you melting? Where is your warmer? Did you put the bulb in properly? She asked me all these crazy questions. You know, I was just like, you know, I've used wax before. I just can't smell anything. And, you know, she sort of just told me, well, you know, stick to whatever wax you've been using then. And just kind of brushed me off. So I ended up calling Scentsy directly, the customer support line, and explained to them, you know, I can't smell anything. I'm very frustrated. I placed a huge order. I've got all these bars and they're not working for me. You know, at that point I had used 3 cubes out of the one bar and 2 cubes out of the other. So, you know, I called Scentsy to try and get my money back and to get a refund and send everything back. I was just done with Scentsy. And thank goodness for the lady that I spoke to, because she explained to me, you know, she said, where do you live and what's the temperature and what's your house like, and asked me a whole bunch of questions about, you know, do you have a humidifier in your home? Do you have, you know, what's your heat at? And she advised me to just turn up my heat a tiny bit. Like, just, I think I went from like 17 degrees to like 20 degrees. And it was amazing because that tiny bit of a difference, like, I could then smell the scent. And she explained to me, you know, how you need that heat in your home, because anyone that works with fragrance or that has used wax in the past knows, when wax melts, it rises into the atmosphere, the environment, or the room that it's in. And if the air is cold, it kind of just drops and it doesn't go into your air and release and expand. And I don't want to sound all scientific because I don't know everything, but I know that having a cold house played a huge factor. And so turning up my heat that tiny bit, I could then smell it. And you know, the consultant had asked me, you know, who I had ordered from, and was looking at the order or whatever. And I guess there was a section with my name on it that showed my whole order. And she was like, wow, you're almost at a party order. And I, you know, what's a party order? And, you know, I was so confused. And she was like, oh, it's January. You could have got double the rewards. And, you know, I'm glad you got Bring Back My Bar, and you got some great scents. And I love that warmer. And, you know, she was really, really great. But I sort of like finished that conversation feeling like, what's a party order, and what are all these things that she's talking about? You know, I kind of like, I put a lot of trust into the consultant at the time. You know, when she gave me a lower price 2 times, I thought, wow, she's really hooking me up. And it turns out I was really close to a party order amount. And back then, a party order meant that you would get free shipping, which unfortunately we don't have that anymore. With the way the dollar works, that's just the way it goes. But anyways, it was free shipping, and it was double the rewards. And double the rewards, I'm gonna grab a catalog right now so you guys can see the current like reward schedule or scale, pyramid, table. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I was looking on the wrong page. So if you look at page 67, or I can link it for you guys. Okay, you're not gonna be able to see it. Anyway, so typically when you spend $240, you get 1/2 price product and 10% in free product credit. So for example, if you spent $240, you would get $24 in free product plus 1/2 price item. And with double the rewards, it was 2 rewards and the $24 in product credit. So I technically could have gotten those things, and I was just shy of $240. I think honestly I spent like $190 or $197 or something like that. And if she had said, oh, if you spend $240 you get all these things, I would have added on more laundry stuff or whatever, you know. So here I got, sorry, I'm gonna fix my little display I made for you guys. Okay, so yeah, so the reason I'm calling this my horror story is because there were so many things I didn't know about, that I wasn't educated about, and that I, you know, I trusted a consultant I had never met. I didn't know her at all. I just kind of found her link and wanted to shop it and just wanted to try out Scentsy. And so I think it's super important to, you know, make that connection with your consultant. Always, always, always. Don't just click on a link. Always make contact in some way with your consultant. Like, ask them, do they have specials, personal consultant specials? Do they have a party order going in? You know, I personally post my ordering schedule on my page, and I do that so that you guys know this is when I'm going to put in an order. And I will combine all of them, and I combine orders so that, like I said, shipping's not free anymore, but if I can try to get to a party order, then it's only 10% for shipping, or the $9, or however it works out. And so, you know, I do my best, and any of my customers have probably never paid $9 in shipping on the minimum order. And I always do, you know, anyone that's ordered through me will get what I'm saying, is that I make it my personal goal to get you the best deal, to make sure you're informed, to give you all the information, and to make sure that that relationship between the two of us stays solid. Like, I wouldn't be 2 years in the business if it wasn't for you guys. So, you know, I believe that that relationship is really solid between all my customers, and trust is so important. And the reason that I really wanted to tell this story was because, you know, I was a new customer at one point, and I learned some hard lessons. And, you know, later on, when I, you know, got this great smell finally going in my place, and read the catalog and started doing my research and watching videos, you know, I'm super grateful to my sponsor, Christina Stainbrook, who I signed up under, because she's very much like me. She just is a straight shooter and gives you all the information, and has a very great personality and training style and all of that, and she's been an awesome support for me. I think I've sort of been able to just keep on trucking, and I have had 3 of my own girls that I've been able to train and make into some really great consultants. And, you know, I hope to expand my team. I really love that I'm able to be a Scentsy consultant and bring my own kind of goals and personality to the table, because, you know, my horror story is just, I think, really important to share, because it's why I signed up. To be completely honest, when I learned about all the perks and all the things that, you know, and I don't mean that like, oh, I get paid so much or I get so much free product. Like, anyone that knows me or that's ordered through me, I really would say my business goal is to share my perks with my customers. And, you know, I make sure that I have enough to sustain my family, you know, but anything that I can do for you guys, I will. And I just want to put it out there that I just hope that anyone who places an order through anyone, that you know, really build that relationship and make sure that that trust is mutual and that respect, and that you get hooked up. So thank you so much for my continuous customers, and I hope everyone learned something from this video.